we are going to go down onto the floor. We're going to take the wee pillow, just place it underneath the head, bring the knees up to the chest, hug the knees in towards the chest. We're going to go into about 10 minutes of shoulder bridges, and we'll just do 2 stretches to start us off. So soles of feet on the floor, arms out wide, drop the knees down to one side, try and get the outside edge of the knee down to the floor, bring the knees up, and then change sides, bring the knees up, and then change sides. We're going to go into continuous knee roll movements, just dropping the outside edge of the knee down to the floor, changing sides. Try and make it as smooth as possible. Keep the shoulders on the floor for the whole time. So we'll go for 3, 2, and 1, and then come back to the center. If you've got a wee pillow, just take the pillow out from underneath the head and place it to the side. Simple, basic sort of shoulder bridge setup. You're going to walk the heels up towards the bum, as close to the bum as possible. Hands are going to be down beside the hips. We aren't going to do shoulder bridges with the feet together. We want about 6 inches between the feet as much as you're able, and you're going to have about a fist width between the knees. So we don't want the knees separating as you're doing your shoulder bridges. We want the knees about fist width the whole time as we do a shoulder bridge. We're going to do a pelvic tilt, so we're going to tuck your bum, flatten the base of your spine, and then we're going to continue to lift off the spine all the way up towards the ceiling, and you're lifting the hips as high as you feel able. You're squeezing through the bum muscles, and then we're going to slowly let every bit of the spine, especially that base of your spine, come down onto the floor, and then just relax the hips. Make sure the heels are in the right position, so get the heels as close towards the bum as possible. And then we're going to do that same movement again. So you're going to tuck your bum, flatten the back, lift every bit of the spine all the way up, squeeze through the bum muscles, get those hips as high towards the ceiling as you're able to. We're going to hold it there for 2 seconds, and 1, and then you're going to let every bit of the spine come all the way back down onto the floor, and then relax. And we're going to do 1 more like that. So we're going to tuck and scoop, flatten, lift every bit of the spine up off the floor, squeezing through the hips as high as possible, all the way up. Make sure you're squeezing your bum muscles. And then we're going to slowly let every bit of the spine come back down onto the floor, relax the hips, and then bring both knees up towards the chest. Hug the knees in, hold that position. So this next one, we're going to go in for continuous shoulder bridges. So back into your shoulder bridge position, heels onto the floor, walk the heels up to the bum. You're going to tuck your bum, flatten the back, lift the hips up towards the ceiling. You're going to bring your hands up towards the ceiling as well, so stretching through the hands. Then you're going to bring your hands up and over the head so that the back of the hands come onto the floor. When we let the hips come down, we're going to bring the hands up to the ceiling. So the hips are going to go down onto the floor, and then we're going to do the same, and we're going to lift the hips and then let the back of the hands come onto the ground as we lift the hips. And we're going to go for 10 of them. So try and make it nice and continuous. Try and make it nice and smooth. So you're squeezing up through the bum muscles. As you squeeze up, the hands are going to come up and over the head and touch the back of the floor. So we'll go for 10 and down. And 9, and down, and 8, and down, and 7, and down, 6, and down, that's good, and 5, and down, 4, and down, 3, and down, 2, and down. Last one, 1, and then come back down. Bring the hands down beside the hips, straighten the legs out. And then we're going to bring the hands up and over the head. So we're going to go into your diving position. So back of the hands on the floor, legs outstretched in front of you. We're going to hold that position. We're just going to lie there for about 10 seconds. And then we're going to bring the hands back beside the hips. We're going to walk the heels back onto the floor. So soles of the feet on the floor, heels up towards the bum. So this time we're going to do a static shoulder bridge. So we're going to go up and hold. So we're going to tuck the bum, flatten the back, walk the hips up to the ceiling, squeeze through the bum muscles, hands down beside the hips, hold that position. We're going to hold it there for 10 seconds. So we're going to go for 9, 8, keep the hips nice and high, 7, 6, and 5, and 4, 3, and 2, and 1. Let the whole of the spine come down onto the floor and then just relax. So we're going to do that same movement. We're going to tuck the bum, flatten the back, lift the hips, squeeze through the bum muscles. So we're going to hold that for 10 seconds. You can hold it for 10 just as you were in the last time. Or if you want to make that a little bit harder, you can straighten one leg out. That leg's going to go out at the same angle as the other thigh, and you're going to keep the hips up, and we're going to hold this side for 5 seconds. So 4, 3, 2. If you're doing a normal shoulder bridge, just keep on holding it. And 1, bring that leg down, keep holding if you're in a normal shoulder bridge, and then we're going to lift the other leg if you're doing that harder version. Keep the hips nice and high. We're going to hold it there for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let the feet go down on the floor. Let the hips come down, and then hug the knees up towards the chest. Hug them in. Hold that position. So then we're going to go soles of the feet down on the floor. We're going to do another shoulder bridge. So this time you've got a choice. You can do that same level 1 shoulder bridge where we did continuous lift the hips up and then back down, lift the hips up and then back down. Hands are going to stay down beside the hips for this movement. If you want to make that a little bit harder, we're going to lift the hips up. We're going to have a bent knee. Keep the hips nice and high. Knee is going to stay bent. And then we're going to drop the hips down and then lift back up. So you can choose which level you do. You can do that easier version or you can do that hard version. We're going to go for 10 repetitions. We're going to go for 10 and 9. And 8, and 7, and 6, nice and high through the hips, and 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Let the leg come down. So we're going to do same movement on the other side. If you were doing that sort of easier version, you can keep on doing it. If you found that that hard version was too hard, you can revert back a level. So we're going to go back in. We're going to do tuck the bum, flatten the back, lift the hips, squeeze through the bum muscles, bend the knee. The knee, it starts up over the hip, and the knee is bent. We're going to drop the hip down and then back up. Drop it down and then back up. And we're going to go for 10 and 9 and 8 and 7 and 6. That's good. Nice and high through the hips. 5 and 4 and 3 and 2. Last one. 1. Drop the hips down, bring the knees up to the chest, hug the knees in. That is the end of the wee shoulder bridges. So we've done different levels, different difficulties. Keep the knees hugged in. Let the soles of the feet come down onto the floor, widen the arms out, and then drop both knees out to one side. And then bring the knees up and change sides. And then come back to the center. That is the end of the 10 minutes of